Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So today I'm just going to take you on a quick tour. I'm going to show you a little bit in my potager garden, and then I'm going to show you an update on my seedlings that I've got growing inside. So come with me and we'll take a look. If you like my channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and leave me a comment to let me know what are some of the things that you're growing this time of year. Alright, let's take a look. So here in the potager, I've done some upgrades thanks to my mom, who helped me purchase some of this fencing for my birthday. I'm so excited because before I just had some chicken wire around it, and while that sufficed for keeping the rabbits out, it certainly didn't look all that pretty. So my mom contributed some money to help me purchase this beautiful fencing. I got it at a local store, and it comes in panels, and you can just simply install each panel separately. And it really was easy, I have to say. So it looks great. It's a big improvement. I'm hoping that it will still keep the rabbits out, and if it doesn't, I guess I'll have to figure out how to deal with that. But for now, I'm super happy. So thanks, Mom. Also inside here, you'll see I've put together some Titan tomato cages, and there's one in the bed to the left as well. So these come from Gardener Supply Company, and they have 3 additional round rows that you can put into them, but for now I'm just starting with the 3 circular portions of the it's plastic over steel, so it's incredibly sturdy and weather resistant. So I'm excited to have those because last year my tomatoes went all over the place and grew super duper tall. Inside the bed, let's just take a look real quick to see what's growing. I have some kale that is left over from last year and some empty buckets of Meyer ice cream. Just kidding. Those I'm actually using as mini cloches. I just poked some holes in the top, you can see, to let the air in, as well as a little bit of moisture and to let some of the heat out when it gets warmer out. But there's some broccoli seedlings down in there. And then I did plant out some other new kale, which is not as happy with me. Let's see if I can look on the other side of the fence here, because I planted it out rather early, and I'm just testing out to see how early in the season I can plant the kale. I think it will be fine overall, but it definitely got a bit of freeze damage because it got down to about 21 degrees the other night here. So you see here I have some kale as well, which is pretty much what's left in the garden from over the winter. I was actually quite surprised to see that it lasted through the winter. And then over here under the ice cream bucket as well, I have another set of broccoli seedlings, and I did keep some inside as well, so I'll show you those because I'm not sure if these mini cloches that I created are going to actually make a significant difference or if they will still die. So I like to keep a little inside and a little outside and experiment, because you never know exactly what the weather's going to throw at you. You see I have some ever-bearing strawberries here, and those were new last year. I got barely any of the strawberries before the birds ate them all, so I'm going to do a much better job of putting netting over my strawberries this year before they get to the point of ripening. In the second bed here, I have installed a trellis, which I'm going to use to grow my sweet peas. Actually, they're snow peas, so you can eat the shell and all, and I'll show you those inside. And I plan to plant some down at the bottom and just let them grow up. And I have them on this side of the bed because this is the far side, and as the peas grow up, they'll begin to cast some shade, so I don't want to have any other vegetables on the other side of it. Also in this bed, you can see here I have a Winecraft Black, Minecraft Purple smoke bush, And so I've pruned it just to one stem because my goal is to make that more of a standard, a little bit more of a tree form. So we'll see if that works or not. And this will be the second year that it's in the garden. I also have some foxglove here that I planted last year that look pretty good. And there are some lilies starting to poke their way through right here. And then under this cloche here, I decided to plant some seeds. And so you can see here what they are. I have arugula on the right. I have some carrots down the middle. I have some winter-boar kale and some French breakfast radishes. Nothing's coming up yet, it's still early, but I do have some garlic that I was able to plant coming up over here, so that's exciting to see some greenery. You never know exactly what's going to come up this time of year. I also have some daylilies over here that are starting to poke through, and some foxglove along the edge of this bed. And I have some Northern Lights chard, which is starting to come up here, and I think, you know, the rabbits really love this. I don't know if it's gonna come back or not this year, but we'll see. Yeah, so I think that the potager is looking pretty nice right now. I'm really enjoying it. I also put out some new solar lights at the end of each bed, so that will be nice to see how those look at night. They're supposed to cast really pretty shadows. They're by Tommy Bahama, and I just thought the design of them was really unique. You can see they have like trees carved into the metal. Isn't that cool? All right, well, let's go inside now and take a look at some of the things I have planted indoors and how the seedlings are doing. All right, so we're inside now, and I definitely got a couple additional grow lights to put into these stations because I wanted to make sure I had plenty of space for the things that I'm growing. So we'll start over here and take a look in the back. In the back here, I have broccoli, which is looking really good. And I think I'll probably be able to plant that out in about a week. And then next to that, I have some dinosaur kale right here. I haven't grown this type of kale before, but I really like the different shape of it as it grows out. So I'm looking forward to having that in the garden. And then here we have some Brussels sprouts, which are also looking really good. Super excited about that. I love to roast some good Brussels sprouts. Here in the front, we have some peppers. These are red sweet Marconi peppers. And you can see we have some seedlings coming up in both of these. These are the ones that I was growing in an egg crate. And the egg crate slowly breaks down, and so then I just clip it into different parts and have put it into these containers, and eventually the roots will just grow right through these egg cartons into the containers. Over here I have some onions. These are the candy variety. In front here I have some red Russian kale. I didn't plant all of my kale out just in case it got completely torn up by the freezing temperatures. And then I have here some very small cilantro and parsley. And then further into the back here, these are arugula, which I just love. Some people call this rocket. And it's super delicious in salads, and people use it for carpaccio, which is like raw beef with capers and vinegar, balsamic vinegar. It's so delicious. Here I have some more onions. I decided to try growing the onions in different ways this year to see which one turned out the best. This one is just an old berry container that has some perforations in it, so I thought it might be a good way to get them going. Also up here I have some proven winner strawberries. These are proving to be difficult to grow. I think I have 4 that are coming up here. They're very difficult to see, so if you can't see them, I won't be surprised. These are supposed to be the pink ones. I also have white and red planted. None of them are doing super fantastic. I do have some that are in winter sowing, so we'll see how that goes. My peppermint is not yet up. Some of my fire away hot and heavy peppers are just starting to come up. Look at them coming through there. And then in the back, my tomatoes are just also starting to come up as well. I have some Glacier Tomatoes, and then I have some proven winners, good-hearted, tempting tomatoes, and those are the smaller kind. I've yet to see anything growing for my Besto Pesto basil seeds, but I anticipate those should be coming up any day now. And over here I have some viola seeds, and one is Cool Wave Raspberry, and I forget the name of the other one, but it says to keep really high humidity and about 65 degrees, so they're on the heat mat, and I'm keeping the dome on it. This is just an old rotisserie chicken container, so we'll see how that works for planting. Alright, coming down a row, you can see here are the snow peas that I was telling you about that I plan to grow on the trellis outside. In the last 2 days, they have just exploded with new growth, so I'm hoping they don't take over before I can get them outside, because it will probably be at least another week before I can get them out there, maybe even close to 2. So hopefully they slow down just a skosh. And here I have the pink Barlow Columbine. I got these from Costco. So there are 10 plants in here, and I'm just getting them started before I put them outside. They were starting to grow in the bag that I bought them in, and so it was important to get them into some soil so that they didn't rot out or just die off. I have some yummy parsley here. This is looking really good. Actually had some of that and some of this cilantro yesterday. Super delicious, and some Asian noodles. So those 2 herbs are fantastic. And then here I have the Iris and Sada tiramisu, which is a lavender and white or purple and white iris. And I'm looking forward to seeing that one bloom this year. This one was also came in one of those bags that I got from Costco for a good deal. And down here you'll see I have my Tuberous Begonia. You can't see them coming out right now, but I did push some of the soil aside to see if they were growing, and they are. So I'm expecting within the next week or so to see them start pushing through the top of the soil. So I'm keeping them moist, but not too wet, because I don't want to rot them out before they really get growing. Down here I also had planted some proven winter strawberries, and you can see this is probably the biggest plant that I have of all the strawberries I've grown from seed right here. Ta-da! I've decided that strawberries are definitely not the easiest to grow from seed, and in the future I will probably just buy them. But it was fun to try this year. Okay, over here we have the clematis or clematis that I planted that I got at Costco as well in the bags. You can see the Dr. Ruppel or Dr. Ruppel is just going to town right now. I mean, it's already starting to grow quite well. And then on this side I have the Mrs. N. Thompson. I think that is this one right here. And so there's 4 of each. So I think this is 1, 2 of the Mrs. Thompson, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Dr. Ripple that are coming up already. And then this is I have 2 Duchess of Edinburgh over here. You can see one of them starting to poke through here. So tiny. And then the multi-blue are on this side, but nothing's coming through yet for those. And then in the back, I have the Red Hot Poker, which is the Nymphophia Alcazar. I don't know if I'm saying that right, you guys. But these are perennials, zone 5 through 9, as you can see on the tag that I made. And just keeping them going because they also had growth on them. And so I wanted to get them planted in under a grow light. I also potted up some dahlias, which are in this pot. They've not started poking out yet, but I just moistened them and got them potted up. And then down here I have no light on because they are not yet showing, but I will put lights on them when they start to poke through. Over here I have potted up elephant ears. There are, I believe, 7 of them, 2 in each pot except for one pot which just has 1. And then in the back over here I have cannas. I have 3 cannas in each of the 2 containers in the back. And then in the 4 containers up front here I have more dahlias planted. And then I also have another bag of dahlias that I got, 14 bulbs. It's the Sugar Plum Mix for $11.99. This was also at Costco the other day, so I snatched those up because I just love the color. So going to grow a lot of dahlias this year, and definitely the seedlings are growing quite well. I'm super pleased with the progress so far, and looking forward to the next couple of weeks when I can start potting up these to larger pots or starting to get them out into the landscape where they can just really take off. Well guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this update and tour of my potager garden to see what's growing and what's getting started. If you did, I hope to see you again next time. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day. Bye!